What's on, where, and when. It's the Talk of Nelson. NBS Talk Nelson.
Banking for Life is all about making things happen.
It means banking that is friendly, helpful, and community focused.
Welcome back to Football Focus. I'm Chris Butler, and welcome back to Skippy. Good to see you here, mate.
Good to see you, Chris.
Didn't call you Skitty this week.
Mate.
Must say, happy birthday, mate. Happy
Thank
birthday.
you. Thank you. Yeah, another year older.
Yeah, but it's not just another year older. It's a milestone, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm out of the threes and into the fours. So yeah, 40 years old
Is
today.
it 40s? Is that what they call it?
Jesus. Yeah, probably.
Ready
So-
for Masters then.
Ready for Masters
Yeah, I've had
officially.
a few offers over the
Because
last night.
haven't they actually changed because it was above 35 or 35 and above, but haven't they shoved it up to 40 now? Is
Yeah,
that
it's
right?
Gone plus 40. Yep.
You're in the running.
Yep.
There's still a career there.
Telling you. Looking forward
And
to
a
it.
bit of a quiet one, but then off to Fiji.
Yeah. Lunch today and then off to Fiji on Friday with the family and friends from Christchurch. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
Jeez, how's that? Warmer weather's good timing too. Must welcome to the show Shannon Marr, who is the president of Wakefield Football Club. Fantastic to have you here, mate.
Thanks for having me on.
It's you guys are on a bit of a roll at the moment, so we thought we'd better get you in and have a chat to you. First of all, big shout out to Stan and the team at the Turf Hotel, and must give a shout out to what's happening this weekend. Thursday night, Jam Night. On Friday, we've got Trilogy. On Saturday, Gentle Giant, and on Sunday, the Mighty Meat Raffle. It's $2,300 this week, so get your tickets in. All right, Shannon, welcome to Football Focus, and mate, tell us, where do you originally hail from? Where's your homeland?
Oh, I'm actually originally from Mapua.
Are you? Oh,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, so not too far.
No.
Yeah, that was my start in football. Back when Mapua were running under the Richmond, they were part of Richmond.
Right.
And also, played for Upamutri, which was running under Waimea Plains.
Oh, is that right? So was
Yeah.
that in the juniors?
Yeah.
What age did Upamutri play to?
Not many teams out there, so it was
Yeah.
the odd team. I think last time I played for them was maybe 12 years old or something.
And where would you actually play your junior football?
Defense or goalie.
Oh, okay. But
Yeah.
as a league or as the junior league, did you play at one location or did you travel to locations?
We travelled around. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Depending on.
Had a few sheep paddocks in Upamutri and
Yeah.
had some Mapua and around the town.
What colours Upamutri?
They were just Waimea Plains colours, so they were just the green and white.
Green and white, right? Okay. So natural to go to the green and white of Wakefield. How did you get involved in the Wakefield Football Club?
Oh, I was actually at Richmond for quite a few years. And loved all my time there and in the Thistle and the Stags and
Oh, right.
Colts teams and stuff. And then Hayden Mingham, he was trying to get me out to Wakefield, and then 20 something, I decided I'll head out there and
Yeah.
started to.
And you played out that way, or
Yeah.
So it was as a player. So what teams did you play for at Wakefield?
Oh yeah, so I played for normally like the second 11, dabbled in the first 11, and just sort of all the teams you're out there. Your small country club, you sometimes have to double up, and not as lucky as other clubs to have so many teams. So sometimes you got to play 90 and then go and play a 60 or a 90, depending on.
It's always a great atmosphere out there. It's a bit like Richmond, great hosts and great club rooms, and it's a great paddock too. And you can play night football there, which is unusual for this region. So it's great to have that facility out there. But at what point? Obviously, you're now president of Wakefield. At what point did they tap you on the shoulder about getting involved at committee level?
I sort of dabbled on committee a bit, but I was also involved in the local Nelson Speedway committee. So I was sort of a bit too much at times, as well as, being a dad and all the stuff that comes with that and,
Yeah,
and
right.
work and stuff. So, and then, a few years back, I had a motorbike accident that put me in a wheelchair. So,
wow.
then I had to learn how to walk again. And I guess because I couldn't play, it sort of needed something more of a commitment. So, it was more sort of back in the committee. And then Grant Dejoux said that he was going to stand down. And I was like, well, there's a role for me to do there. So,
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Gee, he washed over that one in a wheelchair, had to learn to walk again. So tell us a little bit about that. So, a car accident or was it speedway?
No, it was a motorbike accident
Oh,
on a
motorbike.
motocross track. Yeah, I'm not very good, obviously.
Should have stuck to four wheels, mate. It would have been yeah.
And so that was what, a spinal injury?
So pretty much most of my body. I'm all full of titanium and stuff. So
Oh, wow.
yeah.
So at what age were you when that happened?
That was 2022 actually.
Wow, not
Just,
so long ago.
No, just before Christmas. So
And you strolled in
Unbelievable.
here, no problem at all.
yeah.
So tell us about that. What did they say to you? And then what was that process about getting back on your feet?
Oh well, I guess it's that. Trying to come to terms with everything because you're on this little carry. They lift you out of the hospital bed, and you're pretty much just on this frame thing, and then you start with these walkers, and it's just like I guess like little tiny steps.
And did they say to you that there was a possibility that you'd be able to get back to walking, or was it touch and go? What did they tell you?
There was all sorts of talk. I mean, and they got, I guess, go worst case scenario, but I'm pretty determined and focused person, so I was definitely going to make sure that I was all tickety boo again.
Yeah.
So I've had multiple surgeries since, another one next year, and then hopefully after that I can finally play footy again.
Oh, mate, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
Wow. And just watching you walk in here, you would never know
No.
if you knew that story. So well done, mate. Congratulations. And I hope you get back on the footy field.
Yeah.
Be a bit cautious around him.
Yeah, when he's back, yeah.
That's right.
Definitely.
When we're both in Masters League.
Brilliant, mate.
Maybe Masters League.
That's our pace. That'd be good for us.
But also a great opportunity, I guess. I mean, they say everything happens for a reason. Why you'd want that to happen, I don't know. But that gave you the ability to get involved with football administration and now president. So when you got that role, what was some of the challenges ahead? What did you see when you got in there?
I guess it's about that thing, you sort of jump in the deep end, and then finding your feeding really first before you can sort of do anything or come up with things. And we've got a great committee out there and just working in with them. And I guess because we're a little, small village, small area, community, a lot of community-based sort of stuff, and trying to, I guess, get the more known around the community. And
so you got a great support crew out there,
Yeah.
good bunch of people that are helping you out.
Yeah.
What were some of the goals that you identified once you settled in?
Oh, my first thing was I really wanted to get a women's team going out there because we haven't had one for just over 20 years. So, and finally this year we've got that going. So that was a massive goal of mine because women's sport, it's there, and there's all these women and especially mums last year from the kids in the juniors, and they're like, oh, where's the women's team? And it's we'll get there, and we did. So that was.
You just tell them they've got to put out their hand.
Yeah.
That's right. We'll get you a pair of boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Fantastic. So this is the first season in there for them. So obviously finding their feet, but that's a great step forward, isn't it? So tell us about your senior and junior stocks. Let's talk about juniors first. So how's that going for you this season?
Yeah, good. So we got 97 juniors, maybe up to about 100 this weekend. We've got some new players showing up the next couple of nights to possibly join in. The teams are going great. Lots of good coaches out there. Lots of families and all involved, and then you get involved in the senior club, and then they're involved in the junior club, and just seeing all the teams around. This year we've got a new kit for the juniors as well, so they're now looking just like the seniors.
Oh, right. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And what about senior stock? So how many teams have you got out there in seniors? So you've got obviously one women's side, but in the men's side?
Yeah, so we got 3 men's senior teams. So in second division, fourth division, and in masters. So and they're all going well. Obviously the masters are shipping away as they do, and they're having some great results. And then as a masters always require a big squad, and they're definitely a bit light this year. But they're getting some fantastic results. The fourth 11, I coach that team. We're just new team, just learning each other and growing. We're having some good battles and having some fun. And then obviously our first team managed to knock out Richmond in that
in the
first
Chatham
round.
Cup.
So,
Yeah. And so that was a real buzz. So who's taking the second division side or your first team?
So that's Hayden Ingham. He's the coach of that team. So he's a former president of Wakefield as well as all the Wanderers cricket and stuff. He's been involved in that in years, and he's a man that's given a lot to the community and football and cricket and stuff. So
great.
He's really got the troops going out there. You've got I guess you can't bring in 2 new ideas. The lads like to sort of play how they play. Wakefield's probably known for being, quite solid, rough, maybe some would call it. We're not fancy or anything. We just we get the job done.
Yeah, well, it's always been a physical side. There's been great battles out there over the years, that's for sure. But obviously that team has started to gel a little bit this year. I mean, you used to play first division and you had a good young side, competitive in second division. But this year, there seems to be a really good culture out there, and especially with getting that result against Richmond. So tell us about what you see in that team at the moment.
I think there's this belief. Especially the lads having to back up a few of those Chatham Cup games, and then with like midweek games and stuff, and some of them, carrying injuries, but they're still showing up to, I can play half at least, and they just, there's this belief in each other and belief in, and obviously you need belief in your coach Hayden, and they just culture, like great team bond, and they support, we as a club, we always try and get around and support. So if, like say play at 3:00, so we try and get them along to the masters or the second 11 team and support them, and so it's just that buying in from everyone really, and just chipping away, and if we can knock a few teams off, then happy days.
Happy days. Brilliant. That's right. And for 2025, what are you hoping to get out of the season?
We had a fantastic year last year in like our masters. They won the Memorial Cup. That was fantastic. And they just won the Challenge Cup the other day against the Suburbs Masters United. So that was cool about that. Masters are tracking well, so hopefully if they can keep their numbers up, they'll be there or thereabouts towards the end of that. And then the firsts, they've got the ability to do amazing if they can just link it together. Like they've had some great results, and then sometimes some of the games haven't been able to back up as well. So it's ideally if they can finish towards the top of second division, that would be fantastic.
And have you spoken to the girls? Are they enjoying it? I mean, I know at times the results can be tough. There's between the top of the table and the bottom of the table, there's quite a distance at times. But how do you think they're finding it early on in the season?
Well, the women's football in Nelson's like fantastic. Obviously, they've got a whole chat group set up. They've got all these rules and stuff in place, and especially because so about 90% of the women's team have never even played a sport before.
Right.
So,
wow.
And we've got a squad now of about 21. So it started out with one showing up on a Sunday, and then it's just growing from there.
Yep.
But they're loving it. A lot of the other teams are being very supportive, and then say at halftime the scores are sort of tracking away, and then we'll do like some player swap or something, and then they just encourage, and then just seeing the development, like because let's be fair, when you're actually playing a game, you're not really getting that many touches on a ball, and just seeing how quickly they're developing, and it's great. Like they only train once a week. You really, I guess, when you're brand new, you probably need a bit more than that, but that's all they can manage, obviously, with being
Mums and stuff. Yeah, of course.
And yeah, it's fantastic to see. They're having a great time. They went over to Golden Bay on the weekend, and all the photos in the team chat and all the in the Roots bar over there. We're having a great time. So
Good.
yeah.
And so you're encouraged that potentially the core of the group might be able to stay together for future seasons?
Oh, I think, yeah, if we can get them to stay, look, we've got a good foundation now, and if we can keep building that, they keep learning. It'll go places. Like, yeah, they've already started scoring some goals, which when we first started kicking the ball around, it was like, oh yeah, this will be a challenge, and if we can get a goal this season, then
Done well.
that'll be fantastic. And they've started, scoring some goals. So it's
Great, fantastic.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Hey, that's great, Shannon. It's great to have you in and Wakefield part of this. A big part of our football community, and people thoroughly enjoy going out to Wakefield. Sometimes a bit scary. I've had some battles out there, had my legs taken out a few times, and but it's going to be a tough physical effort. But always after the game, not only are they very welcoming, but also after the game, they're great hosts, and always thoroughly enjoy the club. So, well done to Wakefield. Well done to you, mate. Well done for stepping up, and fantastic to hear about your recovery. And may it continue. Good luck with the operation. And geez, you'll have to be player president, won't you? So you're going to be a busy man.
Yeah.
Let's get into some results across the weekend. And Shannon, you were part of this. But first of all, let's talk about Nelson Suburbs taking on FC Nelson, and obviously a bit of a tip up last year. Skippy, but this year we made the effort to go out and watch the game, and just a class above, I think. FC started off quite well. They were quite competitive in the midfield, but as the game grew, you could tell that higher standard came into play, and Suburbs quite confidently won 6-0.
Yeah, it was a good game. Again, we knew FC would be organised. Davor, I've been coached by him. Yeah, I've been around him as an assistant coach with him a couple of times. And yeah, they set up really, really well and sort of tried to frustrate us and set on a deep block and then try to catch us on the break with their pace, because they do have quick players. But I thought our boys managed it really well. We told them to go out and make sure that they controlled the game and controlled the tempo and controlled most of the possession. And I think they did it very, very well. And some of the young boys got the opportunity with 3 of the 4 of the starters not being there. So I think they took their chances, did very well. Jay Anderson, former FC Nelson Golden Bay player, got another goal. So brilliant for him. Young Austin Jeffries in the middle of the park. Thought it was fantastic at 17 years old. So yeah, good day for us. Good day for the team. And yeah, we look forward to Rangers in the next round. But FC, as I said, you couldn't fault the work rate. I thought they were brilliant for the last whistle out of possession and tried their best to try to break us down and cause us problems. So
you're a tall fella up front.
Big Seb.
Got a hat trick, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Seb's been working very hard, and unfortunately he got ill a couple of weeks ago, and it sort of affected his game. And he's our top goal scorer. He's got 5 in the Southern League, and he got 3 at the weekend. So buzzing for him, because he's worked hard on his game, and frustrated last year with probably not as much game time that he would have wanted. And yeah, he's asking all the right questions.
So they keep pointing at you each time.
100%. Yeah, he's asking all the right questions.
No, that's good. And he's got some pace, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's got the height, but man, he can run.
For a big guy, he works hard as well off the ball. So again, we've got him, we've got Trayvon, we've got Lennon, so we've got good stock up there. So they'll just come, and Alex Ward as well.
Yeah.
So they'll keep pushing each other, which is brilliant. So,
yeah. Oh, well, congratulations for FC. They give it a good crack.
It was, yeah.
And, especially in the midfield, pretty tough in there. But, yeah, I thought for the first part of the game, they certainly held their own. But after that, unfortunately, it was one-way traffic for them. But they'll move on for sure. And then another big trip was Rangers taking on Little Sprig Wakefield. You had to make the trip over the hill. You got that great result against Richmond. But, of course, it was always going to be a really tough tough to do against Rangers. They're sitting at top of the table. They're having comfortable wins against first division sides. So, but we always said you never know it's cup football, but unfortunately, again, they pretty much too much class on the day, 7-1. Any reports on the game from your end?
Yeah, I mean the boys, just outclassed really by a fantastic side. Was at 1-1 towards the start of the game, and then Rangers who had played the day before, I guess, finally sort of kicked in, and half time it was 6-1. And then so second half they only got the one goal, but pretty much had our team on defence the whole second half. The boys loved it. They love a road trip.
Yep,
As soon
100%.
as
Skippy said it would be a good road trip.
I did.
Either way.
I did say it would be. I did say that. Yeah.
yeah, no, the boys had a great time. Had quite a few injuries from that game though. Lads lifted up, but they go again tonight. Actually, they got a catch up game tonight at Neil Park, so they've got a quick turnaround. And
So is that against FC?
FC seconds tonight.
Seconds. Yeah, right. Okay. So the other result was the Kate Sheppard Cup, and that was Hothouse Creative Richmond Foxes taking on the Nelson Suburbs SPL team, and that was at Jubilee Park. Big turnout there, great day. I managed to get out there for the second half. I didn't see much of the game. I kept on catching up with a whole lot of people I hadn't seen for a while, and of course I got a tour of those
New
change
change
rooms.
Yep.
Just amazing,
Brilliant.
and actually. Where it was built, I didn't have that perception from the change rooms, but it made sense.
Yeah.
Go through the club rooms, right out the back, straight to the change rooms, training park out the back, big store shed, 4 changing rooms. I mean, just incredible.
Brilliant.
Considering you'd have about 3 sides in this little change room in the old days. Even the first getting ready for their big match would have the masters coming in and saying, good luck, lads, but shift over, Yeah. So great for them. The club rooms all have a bit of a refresh too, so that looks fantastic. And heaps of games on out there, so great atmosphere. Suburbs SPL, just too much class. Fox's great side, dominating the league, but it's just playing at that high level, isn't it? Technically, the football.
Oh, again, probably the speed of it as well. Again, our girls have really struggled in the Southern League so far this year, because the top teams are like the Coastal and Tech and Royals are a step above. So they again, same sort of as the men's. There was a few of the senior girls away, so a few of our academy girls got the chance to play, and I think 2 of them really grasped it. 2 of them scored goals as well. So it's good. Puts a bit of pressure under Dave Turner now to look at the team, and that's what the academy girls are there for. But as I said, brilliant day. We moved our reserve game out there. The academy game got moved out there as well for the girls against the Swans, which was fantastic. And as I said, great buzz down in Richmond now with the new club rooms, and fair play to Chris and the committee and everyone involved in that build. And on to bigger and better things for them, I think, going forward as a club. But great day out there, and Dave and Jill were happy with the win.
Great stuff. Now, Kate Sheppard Cup, there is a draw, and Nelson SPL take on Hallswell.
Yes, so we spoke to Hallswell yesterday when the draw was done, and it looks like that game's going to be on a Sunday to allow them to travel up by bus on the Saturday.
So that might be 1st of June.
1st of June, so just for their travel, they would rather come up the day before, stay, play early. Will probably be 11 o'clock kickoff on the Sunday, and then they'll head back to Christchurch after that.
So will that potentially, you're discussing that at the moment, but the draw for the Nelson Suburbs men's,
yes,
it's going to be top of the South clash. It's going to be you guys versus the league leaders in the first division, Rangers. So, geez, that's going to be a good match, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's, again, we want to move that game to the Sunday as well, so that we can have a really big day of cup football down there, which will be brilliant on the 1st of June. So we're just working out the fixtures at the moment, but really looking forward to that game. We played them in pre-season. It was a good battle. I think we finished 5-0, but it was a really tough game, but looking forward to it. Yeah,
big plans, I think, Rangers this year if they go well. I think they want to kick on to high levels, so it'd be a good test for them, that's for sure. Nelson Pines senior women results and Nelson Suburbs development 4-0 over the Richmond Swans. The Golden Bay Shield Maidens 5-0 over Wakefield. So pretty good result for Wakefield, actually, because Shield Maidens are a very good side, and so, avoided a mercy law and kept them at bay to 5-0. So they must be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, well, so we actually agreed to that before the game. So the actual score in the game, if they count, it was actually 7-5.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, we were quite very, very short on players. Had
but it mixed the teams up a bit.
Yeah, so Golden Bay gave us 3 players.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
they do that. They always do that when over there. That's fantastic.
Yeah, Chris and doing a fantastic stuff over there in the bay. So, but fantastic game.
Sprig and Fern Tahuna soldier on. Must have been a mercy law potentially. 9-0 over the Motueka Angels. They're playing really well. And check this out. Hot house crowd of Richmond Foxes. They had to back it up. It was on Tuesday at 6:30 and only 1-0 over the Mapua Cougars. So I haven't got any intel whether Foxes
I think it was a penalty.
Was it really?
Yeah, I think it was a penalty that Foxes got their goal from as well.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So
Hard to back up, though. I think it is.
it is
After a
hard to
tough
back
game on
up. Maybe a
Saturday.
couple of players short, but Mapua Cougars have been improving every season, haven't they?
Yep.
So it could have been a competitive match. So it'd be interesting to see how that went. So the fixtures, we've got the Foxes taking on the Golden Bay Shield Maidens. That's at Richmond. So that would be a good match. So we'll just do quick picks. So Shannon, what are you picking there?
Oh, you got to go with the Foxes on that one, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. But it looks as though things are quite competitive at the top. Wakefield taking on Nelson Suburbs. That's at the Wakefield Domain, in actual fact.
Yeah.
You're going to pick that one.
The girls are looking forward to that again. Young girls for them traveling to these senior games has been brilliant for them this year. They've been to Golden Bay once, and yeah, they're a brilliant group of young girls, and they love the football, and it's all part of their development. So they'll go out and enjoy themselves and make sure that both teams play a competitive game. And yeah,
and so potentially on paper, Suburbs will be potentially too strong, but it might be a good match, that one, quite competitive.
Well, the great thing, the comments we've been having, so like we had Marpa at home a few weeks back, and so most of the women in that team, well, never even been here before.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So a lot of those teams
they'd be quite surprised, how good those facilities are, wouldn't they? You know, the pitches are in fantastic shape. Sprig and Fern Tahuna Breakers. This would be a great match at versus Mapua Cougars at Tahuna Nui. So Shannon, you're going to have to pick that one.
Yeah. So I was talking to Donna last night. So they had their strongest team they could last night. She's got some away this weekend.
Right.
So they might not be as strong as they were last night. So, and then Tahuna are obviously tracking really well. They're a fantastic team. So you'd probably have to pick Tahuna.
And then we got the FC Nelson Diamonds taking on the Richmond Swans. So that's at the Botanics.
Yeah. Again, FC Nelson Diamonds keep improving every week. Again, Phil talked about it when he was in a couple of weeks ago that they're getting more and more numbers. And yeah, the Swans have been in the team for a few years now. And yeah, that'll be a tough one. But I'm going to pick a draw in that game. One draw.
Wow. I think Diamonds would be pretty chuffed with that.
They'll be up for it, Diamonds. One draw. Yep.
There you go. Nelson Pine senior men and the results from last weekend. Well, we talked about this last week. Great result for Tahuna 2-2 with FC Nelson. That was played midweek on Tuesday, 6 under lights. The Rangers 4-0 over Richmond. Probably not feeling too bad about that result. Young side Richmond.
1-0 at half time as well, I think.
Was
the
it?
boys said it was
Wow.
Richmond were only 1-0 down at half time. So yeah.
We're hoping to catch up with Daryl, but I had a bit of a chat to Daryl, and he, I said, how because he's basically recently coming out of retirement. He's trying not to put on the boots, but the young side. And he said just a great attitude, though.
Yeah.
He's got a great culture in the side there, and thoroughly enjoying it. So great to see, and obviously putting some good results together. Sprig and Fern Tahuna taking on Nelson Suburbs under 18s. Oh, that was 2-1, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, that was the result, 2-1. So another 3 points for Tahuna. How's that? The under 18s actually be pretty chuffed with
Yeah,
that.
Geezer, I spoke to Geezer on Monday, and he said the boys were unlucky not to get a point. He said they did very, very well, and unfortunately a goalkeeper had a bit of an error early on that put them 1-0 down, put them against it, but he said the boys kept going. But as we said about the Sprig, they seem to find in that goal now, where last year they couldn't. They drew a lot of games. So yeah, they're putting themselves up there with the top three. So yeah, Sprig in front will be a hard place to go this year, I'd say.
Yeah, that's right. And Nelson Suburbs SPL Reserves 3-2 over FC Nelson Corinne. Good match that. Very competitive. So let's get on and see what the draw is for this weekend in our picks. So Rangers taking on the under 18. So big challenge for the development squad. That's 3:00 at AMP Park.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one for the young lads. But again, as I say, every weekend's a free hit for them. So I think they'll go over and actually get after them and try to get on the front foot. But yeah, it'll be a good learning curve for them. And yeah, we wish them all the best. But I do think Rangers might be just too strong and Yeah.
Smith and Sons Richmond taking on FC Nelson at Jubilee Park. Shannon?
Uh, I'd say FC Nelson. Like Richmond are tracking well, but I think FC Nelson are under the new coach. Yeah, love the style they're playing. So,
And then we've got Suburbs Reserves taking on, this would be a good match too, Spring and Fern Tahuna at Saxon Field.
Yeah, that'll be a good game.
Yeah.
Very good game. We have a few boys returning from injury. So Phil will have a bigger squad to pick from. So yeah, he'll pick the most competitive, I would say, for that game. And yeah, it'll be a really good game to watch. Unfortunately, we're playing at the same time, so no one will be able to watch it. But
geez, I couldn't pick that one, especially the way Tahuna travelling at the moment. I mean, Reserves are a very good side, very good young side. Technically, they'll be very good, but Tahuna just battling quite well at the moment. Okay, it's the third division highlight game. And I've picked this one out. It's a derby at Jubilee Park. It's Tasman Civil Richmond Thistle, which is actually my old team when we used to play in second division, taking on Tasman Auto Electric Richmond Bogans.
Yeah.
Can we call it?
There's only one winner there, to be fair.
Really?
The club rooms.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
There'll be a few beers after that game.
It's on the main. It says
it's on Jubilee
it's
One.
On one.
Love it.
They're really pumping that one up. I think Bogans are up there on the table.
Yeah, Bogans are doing really well in that league this year. They I think they had a big result on the weekend as well. So
yeah, so Thistle are quite a young.
I was going to say they're a young team, aren't they?
Yeah. So would you pick the Bogans?
Yeah.
Right. Going with experience.
There you go. Maybe fitness too. Depends on how many they have the night before. Fitness might come through. Southern League women and we talked about this last week.
Yep.
Some results 6-3, Roslyn and Horswell, Otago 4-0 over Coastal Spirit, NW United 3-2 over Nelson Suburbs, 2-0 Dunedin City Royals over Canterbury, and Cashmere Tech had the bye. And then the lineup, we'll quickly go through these. Sorry, back to this page. Dunedin City Royals taking on Nelson Suburbs. We talked about that game. They've got to travel to the deep south, potentially 1 or 2 away. How's Dave thinking about the squad for that?
I'd say a few of the young academy girls might be called up. Again, for them, it's another experience of traveling. Yeah, for a full day. I think they have to be at the airport at 5 o'clock. I think they get home at like 9. So it's all part of learning. They got to get used to it. But as again, the Royals are the team to beat. So I think Dave will take that approach and use it as a learning curve and hopefully maybe take something away from it.
We've got Horswell, the bye, NW United versus Roslyn, Cashmere Tech versus Coastal Spirit, Otago University versus UC Canterbury. Southern League men and the results. So that was the week before. So we have gone through that actually. Christchurch United 2-0 over Dunedin, Nomads 3-2 over Wanaka, 3-2 Cashmere Tech over Ferrymead, 2-2 Selwyn and UC, and then Coastal Spirit 3-0 over Suburbs. So the fixtures coming up, Skippy, Christchurch United versus Cashmere Tech. What a great game that'll be.
Yeah, it's a big weekend.
Yeah.
Up the top, you've got those two playing each other, and then the other game, Bays and Coastal, is on Friday night as well. So they're both being played at the same time, and that's pretty much the top 3 plus ourselves as the top 4. So we'll be hoping for draws and maybe upsets to get us back in the hunt. But yeah, I think if anyone's got any spare time on Friday at 7 o'clock, that on FIFA Plus, that Christchurch United Cashmere game will be fantastic.
Yeah. So Christchurch United, are we picking there?
Garvin's fit, so I'm going to go with Tech.
Oh, there you go. Ferrymead Bays and Coastal Spirit. That'd be quite a good game, won't it?
Well, I've got 3 of the backroom staff in Fiji with me because that's my old club. So Robbie, I spoke to Robbie when we played them a couple of weeks ago. He wasn't too happy about it. So he's got no manager.
Do the admin as well as coach.
Yeah. So yeah, again, Coastal, they're a strong team, but Bays at home, especially in a night game as well, it does add a little bit of spice to it. Again, I could see Coastal win it, but I'd love a draw.
UC Canterbury taking on Dunedin City. Tough for UC, won't it? That one.
Yeah, but they have to win every game now, don't they?
Yeah.
Pretty much them and Selwyn, they drew last week and they're the bottom 2. And UC are a good team. As I said, we played them in pre-season and they were brilliant. And then we played them at home and they were a little bit weaker, but hopefully they've got a coach now, which they appointed during the week. So hopefully that'll help. But Royals, yeah, again,
Too tough.
they're a tough side.
Nomads versus Selwyn. Nomads travelling pretty well. Selwyn struggling this year.
And that's sort of tells its own story, that game.
It does. And Nelson Suburbs taking on Wanaka. That's on Saturday, 3:00 at Saxon Field.
Yeah, boys are really, really looking forward to it. Yeah, new team in the league. Unfortunately, I'm not here, but Ben Sapola, the coach, is a good friend of mine. Originally from America, came over and ran the Olay Academy in Wellington for a long time, but now found himself down in Wanaka because he loves fly fishing. He's loving it down there, and he's a top coach, and we know they'll come up and be organised and they'll look to steal points. He doesn't come to make up numbers, so he'll be going after it. So yeah, should be a great day. The boys have never kicked off at 3:00. I don't think on a Saturday. Can't remember that. And hopefully there's no injuries. And because if there is, we have no lights, so we'll be playing in the dark.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right.
It's a bit of a worry, to be honest. But yeah, really looking forward to it. And I know our boys are up for it. And really looking forward, knowing hopefully we'll know what happens on Friday night. That gives us a little bit of a spur going. If we get 3 points today, we're right back in there. So having those games on Friday really gives us a sort of drive.
Yeah,
on Saturday.
You could transfer it out to Wakefield if it goes too late.
Might need to.
Look, A-League men elimination finals, Western United 3-2 over Adelaide, and then Melbourne victory 2-1 over Western Sydney. They're having some late form towards the end of the season, aren't they? I mean, Western Sydney have been travelling pretty well, but Melbourne victory they're a finals team, aren't they?
I was about to say, they always come good, don't they? When it comes to the sort of playoffs and the semis and that. So,
okay, let's do our picks. Semi-finals, Western United versus Western United versus Melbourne City. So that is that's okay. Is that a repeat?
That's meant to be Adelaide. Is it not?
Oh, no, that's right. Western United over Adelaide, they won. Melbourne victory over Adelaide. So Western United versus Melbourne City at Amy Park.
Yeah, it was elimination, wasn't it?
Yeah. Do you keep an eye on the A-League a little bit, Shannon?
I do. I especially got when Phoenix started, I was
you're right
into it, and I was doing some work up there at the time.
Oh, so right.
Got into all the merch and rocked that around the town.
So you're gonna pick Western United and Melbourne City?
I think Western United, I'll go for them.
Yeah.
They've got pretty similar colours as well, black and green.
Yeah, that's right. 100%. That's right.
Love that.
Okay, and then Melbourne victory versus Auckland. Well, there have been some good matches, and I've seen Auckland, they have won games, but only just against Melbourne City, and I've seen Melbourne City towards the end of the game absolutely pepper their goal.
Yeah.
This is not going to be an easy match. It is a 2-leg match. So really Auckland City, at the end of the day, they just have to stay close. Obviously a win will be fantastic, but even if it's a draw or a 1-0 loss, they're still in the hunt.
Yeah. Got to support. Yeah. Auckland all the way.
Auckland all the way. They've had a rest too. I think the champagne's gone out of their system.
Yeah.
They're going to be pumped for this, aren't they?
They'll be good to go.
UEFA Champions League and Inter Milan 4-3 over Barcelona, 7-6 on aggregate, and then Paris Saint-Germain 2-1 over Arsenal. So Arsenal couldn't do it, and it ended up being 3-1. And you did say PSG just going to be too strong, too classy.
They've been very, very good this year. As I said, it's a young side. There's no real superstars in it, and Luis Enrique, the coach, has got the best out of them, and yeah, it's going to be an unbelievable final between them and Inter. It's going to be very, very good.
And it is on the 1st of June. It's a 7 a.m. kickoff, so there might be a breakfast somewhere. PSG versus Inter Milan. It's in the Allianz Arena, Munich. So are we picking it?
Since they knocked Liverpool out, I've said PSG. So
they're on a roll, aren't they?
Yeah,
at the moment?
Can't change.
Do you keep an eye on the Championship League?
A little bit. It's more just all the boys out at the Wakey Club give each other shit about whoever. So no matter who I went for, I'd probably get shit when I get back out there.
Anyway, so are you picking it?
Yeah, I'll say what, Skippy. Yeah,
PSG.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah,
they're just on a bit of a roll at the moment, but you never know. Big club into Milan. All right, let's fire through some results. And Ipswich 1-0. Sorry, Brentford 1-0 over Ipswich. I'll skip the other one. Uh, 3-1. Everton over Fulham. Craven Cottage.
Oh, don't, mate.
Have we just thrown in the towel?
I think you're done. I think you're
Just done for the season.
league's over. Boys are in my bay already.
They've got 11th.
Yeah.
What's the worst that can happen?
Exactly.
And Everton actually, Mr. Moyes has definitely made a bit of a
unbelievable job since he's went in there.
Yeah.
And
saved them really again.
Yeah, it always says though, familiar faces. And again, he went back into the club. A lot of people still would have been there, were there when he was there. And he's just gone into it seamlessly and just continued where he left off, really. And it's good to see them staying up again. Big club, just built that new stadium. So yeah, all the Everton fans will be happy they're in the league again next year.
Check this out. Southampton 0-0 with Man City. So they can't get the win, but they managed to get a draw against one of the biggest clubs over there. So great result for them. But unfortunately, it's just playing out the season now. Brighton 2-0 over Wolves. The Brightons are still travelling very well. Aston Villa 1-0 against Bournemouth. That's a good result actually for them.
Put them right back up again. Yeah.
Newcastle, aren't they doing well? 2-0 over Chelsea. And then West Ham doing it over Man U 2-0. Man U having a horror. Nottingham Forest 2-2 with Leicester. And great goal by Chris Wood.
Yeah.
But then
the end of the game,
an injury. There was an injury to a Forest player. They didn't sub him off when they could have. The Leicester get the equaliser. The whistle blows. The owner
runs onto the pitch,
irate at the manager about
what had happened.
About not doing the change. So. Yeah, I mean, you can't do that as an owner, can you?
No, he's caught a lot of flack for it as well, looking on all the socials and that. Yeah, but when you put all the money in that they put in,
he's passionate, isn't he?
You should just leave it for when the cameras aren't there.
I mean, he definitely must have thought they were going to go through the Euros, and
just the way they were playing after Christmas, they were up there. They were third and second, and yeah, it just shows you the Premier League's it goes from July to August. To June. It doesn't stop. So
unfortunately, the Nottingham Forest fans are coming out and saying, "Come on, give the manager a break. We were just about to be relegated." Yep. So we don't get Euros football, but it just goes to show he's passionate. He's got, he wants to get into Euros. So
he saved them last year, did he not? They were on the brink last season, and they've kept them on. And now they're in the top 6.
Yeah. I mean, they were second, third on the table at one point.
What more can he do?
Yeah, so obviously not quite going the way that they wanted it. Crystal Palace still travelling really well, 2-0 over Spurs, and Liverpool 2-2 with Arsenal. So very interesting.
2-0 up. Disappointed that we drew. Yeah, we were 2-0 up half time. So yeah,
in the bag, they're coasting at the moment.
Yeah.
Quick fire pick, Shannon. Don't know if you follow the Premiership League, but you'll just have to pick them. Aston Villa versus Spurs at Villa Park.
Oh, we'll go for Villa.
Villa, yeah, probably a good choice, that one. Chelsea versus Man U, Stamford Bridge.
Chelsea.
Yeah. How often have you said that in the Big No Home?
Yeah, a lot. Especially when they play Man U.
Especially to wind them up.
Yeah.
Everton versus Southampton, Goodison Park.
Emotional game. That's got to be the last one.
Yeah.
The last game.
Yeah, right. So
that'll be a big day for them.
Yeah. Well, Everton, you'd pick that one. Shannon, West Ham versus Nottingham Forest. They definitely need 3 points, Nottingham Forest. Chris Wood at the helm.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to go with the Kiwi lad, don't we?
That's right.
Yeah.
What a goal that was, wasn't it?
Yeah. Did you see the big thing as well? First New Zealand player to score 20 goals or more in the Premier League. Huge.
Well, I can't think of anyone.
I couldn't think any close. Yeah.
I mean, who else would have been?
Winston Reid, when he used to go up for the corners.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but unbelievable. He's flying at the moment.
Yeah.
He really is. And he's got a big part to play in the World Cup, I would say, next year if we're going to do anything. Yeah.
100%. Brentford versus Fulham at home.
Derby as well. Love a derby.
I know, but Fulham's gone to sleep. Fulham's finished the season. I can't see Fulham doing that, but you never know. They might have got a rev up. Leicester versus Ipswich. Geez. I mean, it doesn't matter, but it's going to be a good match.
Yeah. Again, that'll be two teams that will probably want to come straight back up in the Championship. So, yeah.
Shannon, Arsenal versus Newcastle. Wow, what a match this is.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. Yeah. I can just see all the lads back out.
You've got a few Arsenal fans out your way. do
Yeah,
you
let's
not?
go with Arsenal.
Arsenal,
Happy.
is that
A
right?
few of your lads support Arsenal. I know who they are. So,
Here we go. Brighton versus Liverpool at home.
Brighton.
Yeah, well, yeah,
We're hugging
know.
faces, mate.
they're still celebrating.
We're just done. Yeah, it's hard. Once you've won it, it must be hard to try to get up.
Yeah. That's right.
When
That's
you know
right.
that it's done.
Yeah.
It must be really, really
Nothing else to
hard.
play for.
So yeah, I think Brighton have got a little bit more to play for. So
Crystal Palace versus Wolves. Shannon, Crystal
Oh,
Palace at home.
I've got a few mates that support Wolves, but I'll go Crystal Palace.
They're travelling well at the moment, aren't
Palace are doing really well.
they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Man City versus Bournemouth. It is at
City.
Etihad Stadium.
They'll
So.
win. Man City should beat Bournemouth.
Okay, so now here we go. So the UEFA Europa League, table points. Chelsea in fifth on 63. Sorry, on fifth. Yeah, fifth on 63. Aston Villa sixth on 63, and Nottingham Forest seventh on 62.
Can't split it, can you? And again, with Forest, going back to the owner and stuff, even if they made the Conference League,
Yeah,
surely that's a win.
yeah. But they're not. It's not over yet, is it?
I know it's not, but the worst case scenario,
Yes,
they go to
yes.
the conference.
Yeah,
Chelsea played in it this year.
yeah.
Probably going to win it.
Mhm.
So I think you got it. But again, as you said, it could be anything. It could
Yeah.
finish anyway. But I think Chelsea have a Man United at home. It's probably a big coup for them because the way
Yeah.
United are playing at the moment. They'll be hoping to tickle them up. So
And here's the thing in the league. I think above the bottom three go Spurs,
Man U,
then Man U.
and they're
How
playing,
is that?
and they're playing in the European Cup final. I watched a podcast during the week. Arsene Wenger got asked a question. He goes, "What's your views on the Europa League?" And he goes, "Well, you've got two of the worst teams on form
Yeah, that's
in
right.
England in the final. But what you got to remember is the winner of that gets automatic
Oh,
Champions League.
Oh, Champions League.
You've got these teams here
Yeah.
absolutely fighting it out that haven't really lost that many. Tottenham Hotspurs has lost 17 league games this year,
Yeah, right. Yeah,
and they could end up in the Champions League.
yeah.
So he had a point. He said,
So, financially, probably not a bad effort, but
Yeah.
just, but obviously some stuff to do in the off season. So, just depends if he keeps his job. But I've got a funny feeling because of that, he probably will.
well, that's what they're saying. The two coaches in the final are playing for their job.
Yeah.
Whoever loses gets
Right,
stacked
right.
between Pochettino and not Pochettino, sorry, Postecoglou and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, harsh. It's a harsh game. Okay, so if we look at the EFL, so Leeds United go through, Burnley go through, no problem at all. Then we've got playoffs. So before that, the scenario is Luton Town, Plymouth Argyle, and Cardiff City. Looks as though they're all
they're gone.
go down. Hull just misses out on
Goal
going
difference.
down on goal difference. How's that?
Crazy.
So then we've got Sheffield United versus Bristol City, and Alan Roberts will be saying, easy, mate, easy. 3-0 in the first game over Bristol City, and then another 3-0 win at home against Bristol City. So they go 6-0 aggregate. They go into the final. Then we've got Coventry City going down 2-1 to Sunderland. And then this morning, the last time I saw, because I'm I never catch the final result. But when I left, it was 2-2 on aggregate, Coventry City over Sunderland. Final result, do we know yet?
Sunderland scored in the 122nd minute
Oh,
off a set piece and went through.
so 3-2
Yep.
aggregate goes
Yep.
to Wembley.
Yep. So Sunderland Sheffield, which will be a brilliant game.
So Saturday 24th, Wembley Stadium, Sheffield United versus Sunderland.
Brilliant game.
What a great game this will be. And sorry, am I right? Yeah, Sunderland. So Sunderland go through. So yeah, Alan Roberts will have the colours on. He'll be there with bells on. But on paper you'd say Sheffield. They're
Yeah.
looking pretty strong, aren't they?
I'd love Sunderland to win it though. All the documentaries that we've all watched about Sunderland Till We Die on Netflix and the trouble the club's had, and it's a fairy tale really. And I think there'll be a lot of people, neutrals, that'll be happy if Sunderland did go up.
You'll be bagged for that.
I know I will.
Um,
I'll take it, though.
All right. Thanks very much. Hey, Shannon, thanks very much coming in and joining us today on the podcast. Great to have you here. You keep up the good work with Wakefield. Say good day to everyone out there for us. And great story, and had no idea about what you've been through. So that's just a great story of determination. It looks like nothing's going to hold you back too much.
Yeah. No, I appreciate being invited on. It's been great.
Good luck with the rest of the season, and we hope to speak to you again in the not too distant future. Happy birthday, mate. Hope you have a great lunch, and of course off to Fiji.
Yep.
It's all right for some.
Might zoom in next Wednesday from the side of the pool, mate, just to say hello. Thanks for that.
If we see you starting to ring,
just end it.
We'll just end it.
Yeah, good luck.
Get rid of him.
Yeah.
We'll have Neil, maybe Geezer in next week, and Neil will be doing all the hard yards against Wanaka on the weekend. So, I'm sure you'll be tuning in for that. Local comps still alive in our local region. We've got Chatham Cup still going with the top of the South Clash. The Kate Sheppard Cup still going with Suburbs taking on Horswell. Sorry. Thinking of AFL, Hawthorn. Southern League is still trucking along. And of course, all the local action this weekend. Good luck to all the local teams. Big thanks to the Turf Hotel, our proud venue sponsor. You can listen on Spotify, YouTube, our website, and Talk Nelson Digital Radio. Just look for MBS Talk Nelson. And don't forget, if you want to get involved with sponsorship for the show, get in touch with us. That's it for this week. Catch you next week for more Football Focus.
Talk Nelson Radio. It's the Talk of Nelson.